Hey, BatiYah here from BatiYah.com. Thanks for clicking on the video. Okay, so if you click this video, you would like to know the #1 food that you need to stop eating right now in order to gain weight. Yes. Yes. And I've got the answer for you. At least I have the answer for what worked for me. And I used to be, though I'm slim now, I'm carb free. I don't eat carbs and grains. So generally speaking, people who stop eating those carbs lose a lot of water weight and lose weight anyway, and generally can be pretty slim. Though we can also pick up weight too. So that's kind of the journey that I'm on again, after having lost some pounds when I stopped, the carbohydrate. The hydrate is that liquid that holds itself in our body, with the carbs that we eat. So I just stopped that and I lost some weight. But even still now, even having lost 10 pounds, because I did, I still look healthier and bigger than I was, believe it or not, when I was growing up, certainly in my teens, certainly in my 20s, and even my 30s, particularly early 30s, early to mid 30s. I mean, I didn't even find this out, what I'm about to tell you, this food, until I was in probably like my late, like I'm 40 now. Okay, I just turned 40 this year, in 2017, in August. And so it's been 3 years that I stopped eating this food, since January 2015. And my life has greatly improved in many ways, not least of which is the weight gain factor. Not just, I'm not just talking about gaining a whole bunch of weight, though, you might want to do that too. But I'm talking about gaining it and keeping it, I mean, yeah, weight can go up and down and we can lose weight or gain. But I mean, when you actually gain it and it stays, you know what I mean? If you experience things I experience, you know what I'm talking about. Sometimes hard gainers and ectomorphs, we can eat a lot of fat, a lot of fattening things, drink high calorie drinks, etc., and might be able to pack on a little bit of pounds. But then it goes right away, almost like we didn't even add the fat to our bodies. Like, what in the world is happening? Okay, so now I'm going to reveal to you the #1 food that I stopped eating in order to finally gain weight and retain it, and better control my body. And the #1 food that you also can stop eating in order to do the same. Okay, that food is wheat. Wheat. Okay, I have to stop banging on the table because I do that a lot. Okay, I guess I should have done a drum roll or something. Wheat. Pure and simple. It is not really good for anyone. I recommend that everyone stops eating it, but perhaps that'll come in time. But for right now, I'm gearing this video toward you, the hard gainer, the ectomorph, the person who, I like to call my where does it go people. You eat all this food and all this fattening stuff, and you look in the mirror or people look at you and say, like, where does it go? Like, it doesn't even go anywhere. That's not always a good thing. That's not always a good thing. Yeah, being slim could be like cool, it could be okay. But you don't want to be like skinny, bony, have no shape. Male or female, you want to be healthy. You want to be attractive as you can be for your frame. When I stopped eating wheat, finally, officially, in 2015, because I had stopped it in 2012 and 2013, when I had done like some fasting. If you scroll through my videos from that time, because I do have some up on this channel, I was really skinny. But I was raw vegan, and I wasn't eating much of anything during that time anyway. I mean, I just wasn't. Bananas, salads, I guess other fruits like apples. I would have some raisins sometimes. I was eating nuts then, which I don't now. Um, and what else was I eating? I guess some kale and stuff like that, but just not a lot. Not a lot. So I lost a lot of weight during that time. I wasn't eating wheat, but I wasn't eating enough fattening foods to kind of put on the weight. What the elimination of wheat does for the body is very many things, um, not least of which is helping the body to absorb minerals. So this is where I'm going to go to online. I'm going to go online and just bring up some articles that I typed in a little earlier. Hopefully this won't take too long. I just want to kind of illuminate some stuff for you. So I typed in malabsorption weight loss because I already know about that. Okay, so this is a website from Merck, MERCK, and it's like merckmanuals.com. It says they're talking about their patients who are dealing with issues of malabsorption. And remember that wheat, which hopefully this will help to illuminate, my premise is that the wheat that you're eating is preventing you from absorbing your fats, absorbing your minerals, your nutrients in order to gain healthy weight. Okay, I lived this. This was my experience. I know it. I ate a lot of food and I was not able to see it on my body, my face, or anything. As far as I know, it has nothing to do with age. Yes, I am older now, and a lot of people say, well, when you get older, you gain weight, it'll stay. I mean, that had never happened for me. I was still in my late 20s, still in my early 30s, and the same thing was going on. And, I had children, and I still dropped the weight, and there were times where I still looked really skinny. And yeah, I had some bloating sometimes, water weight sometimes. That would still go up and down, but it wasn't like healthy fat, and it wasn't staying on my body until I stopped eating wheat. So anyway, wheat is connected with malabsorption. I want to read this from merckmanuals.com. When they are treating people for gastrointestinal disorders and malabsorption issues, patients often lose weight despite adequate food intake. This is a sign of malabsorption. Maybe you can relate to this. For some, chronic diarrhea is the most common symptom, and this is what usually prompts evaluation of the patient. This may or may not happen to you. This did not happen to me. I didn't have chronic diarrhea. As a matter of fact, it probably was the opposite, maybe chronic constipation. If you eat a lot of wheat and breads and things like that, you're going to have some constipation going on. But it still doesn't mean that your body is absorbing your fats and your nutrients. And it still doesn't mean that you're gaining weight, right? Okay, so I just wanted to illuminate that part, that the patients often lose weight despite adequate food intake. That's, because that was what I was experiencing. And maybe that kind of rings true to you. So this is dealing with malabsorption. There's another word they have here, steatorrhea, fatty stool, which is the hallmark of malabsorption, occurs when 7 grams a day of fat are excreted. And then it kind of goes more into that. So you can look that up more, but I just want to tie a little bit more in before I get off of the computer here. Okay, so this is an article on usnews.com, and this is by a woman named Katrina Plyler. The article is called Surprising Signs of Gluten Intolerance. Okay, and we know that gluten is one of the main protein, I believe it's the protein inside of wheat. Certainly not the only one that people may be sensitive to, if you will, but definitely a main one. So she lists some things here, some issues that she's having with gluten, and she lists number 2. I just want to highlight this for you. Malabsorption of vitamins. Okay, and we're not just talking about vitamins you pop from a container. We're talking about vitamins in your food. I just want to paint a picture here to get this through to you, that if you stop eating wheat and you're a hard gainer and ectomorph and all that, your gains are going to be quicker, easier, bigger, faster. I'm telling you, this is what happened to me. Like, I don't even work out a lot anymore. I used to. I used to work out a lot because I was trying to gain weight. You know, I love working out. So hopefully I'll get back to it again. But a long time ago when I used to work out, I worked out in order to gain weight. I would get these protein packs from the, I don't want to say the brand name of the store, but you know, the store that sells all the supplements, or, you know, a supplement store. And I would work out and I seemed to get some tone from it. I mean, I think it had some whey in there and maybe some cornstarch or whatever else they put in these weight gaining packs, that can actually cause weight gain, particularly for a person who is absorbing their nutrients. So we want to get you to that type of body. Any body can absorb their nutrients. Any body can gain weight. And if you're having issues with it, there is an issue with absorption. That's it. How can you eat fatty foods and not gain weight? I'm just saying. I lived it, so. But what I'm saying is thinking about this in a common sense way. How is that even possible? Something has to be going on. Something has to be blocking the absorption of that fat. Does that make sense? Well, I hope so. But if you really think about what wheat is, it's glue. It's a sticky doughy substance that's hard to get anything past. I mean, think about what it's doing inside of your body. And yeah, there are some people who will gain weight when they're eating wheat. Some people will be overweight, really for the same reasons. You know, they're not absorbing their nutrients, and for whatever reason, their body type is different than yours. But for ectomorphs, and, you know, people like that who hard gainers who, you know, eat food and don't really seem to see the benefits of it, if you will. For people like us, we do not need to eat wheat in order to gain weight, okay? When we eat wheat, it hinders that. So again, her article on usnews.com talks about malabsorption of vitamins, which is one of the issues with gluten intolerance. And let's see, so it says, if a person is gluten sensitive or intolerant, their stomach lining can no longer absorb essential nutrients from food. Low iron is a common indicator of gluten intolerance. And you know, that just brought something back to my mind. For many years of my life, and no longer mysteriously, I had low iron. Many women do, you know. But I did. I did not know that it could have possibly, I'm going to say the word possibly, even though I know it was definitely linked to wheat, but I did not know it was possibly linked to the wheat I was eating. And I like wheat, you know, in my former life. I don't eat it now, but I ate a lot of it in my life. I did. I like bread and butter, and I mean, a lot of it. It was something about it. I would just eat it, and you know, I just ate a lot of it. I ate other food too, but I ate a good amount of wheat and wheat-containing foods. And most people do, because it's everywhere. And they try to tell you it's good for you. It's really not. So again, I just had to pause on that. I'm going to read it one more time, and then I'm going to go to something else. The last and final article. If a person is gluten sensitive or intolerant, it means all you need to do is be sensitive to it or intolerant of it. Their stomach lining can no longer absorb essential nutrients from food. God, that's horrible. Your stomach lining can no longer absorb essential nutrients from food. If you're sensitive to gluten, and gluten is in wheat, and people eat wheat every day, 1, 2, 3 times per day, and you're eating food and not absorbing essential, these are important, nutrients from your food, like fat is one of them. Can you see how you can be undermining your own efforts to gain weight by eating wheat? You don't have to be diagnosed with celiac disease or gluten intolerance to be sensitive to gluten. Everybody's sensitive to gluten. But I'm not a doctor. You can look it up. Listen to Dr. William Davis. He speaks a lot about this. He made the wheat belly information, wheat belly total health, etc. There are other people who speak about this. Dr. David Perlmutter of Brain Grain, etc. Um, the information is getting out there. But this could not be a better time for you to stop eating wheat because there's gluten-free foods everywhere. You can still eat pizza. You can still eat bread if you want to eat that stuff. And it's, in a way, I would say transitioning from wheat is really good if you do. I was gluten-free for just about 2.5 years. Until now, I'm more keto-ish, paleo. I stopped the grains, I stopped the grains in July of this year, 2017. So, but all that time, I just had to get a lot of it out of my system, cupcakes and all that. I would eat all that stuff, but it was gluten-free. So it still wasn't the wheat. I stopped the wheat January 2015. Best decision of my life in terms of food. Oh my goodness. It really was. I mean, I love the fact, I love the time when I was raw vegan too. It was a spiritually enlightening experience. It really was on many levels. And so, I mean, I don't know. They're kind of tied for like the best food decisions I've ever made. Being raw vegan for a time. I don't know if I would totally, exist as a raw vegan and do that for a lengthy amount of time. I don't know. It's possible, but at this point, not right now. But in terms of stopping the wheat in 2015, it was the best decision, top one, top two decision that I made as far as my food is concerned, and many other reasons too. But yeah, because before that, I was not able to keep and retain my weight, or see real benefits of, when I ate fattening foods. Just wasn't really absorbing. I did have some iron issues, and all of a sudden, when I stopped eating wheat, I started to gain and maintain my weight, maintain it easy. Like it didn't fall off anymore, which is amazing for an ectomorph, a former ectomorph. Like I can say I'm a former ectomorph. I don't know. Maybe you're always, I'm tall and, slim, whatever. But now I'm able to gain weight. I'm able to keep it and, kind of. So I'm working on that now, being low carb and getting myself to where I would like to be. I'm still refining because I'm learning new things to eat. But wheat is not one of them, period. So one more thing I want to read to you, and this is from ncbi.gov. Let's see. The National Library of Medicine, National Institutes of Health. Okay, so this is a .gov website. They have a lot of scientific things here. Let's see what the title was about this. What role does wheat play in the symptoms of irritable bowel syndrome? Again, we're not necessarily talking about that. We're talking about weight gain, but I want to link these together to you because there's some things that stood out in these articles, and I want to illuminate this for you. They just have a little paragraph here that says, what is non-celiac gluten sensitivity, because a lot of people get caught up in these titles. Well, I didn't go to a doctor and get tested for gluten and sensitivity. I was gonna say intolerance. I'm not diagnosed with celiac disease, so how can I be, how can I have a problem with wheat? Well, there's a such thing, if you need scientific proof and stuff like that, there's a such thing as non-celiac gluten sensitivity. And you can, I'll post a link to this article and you can read it yourself. And they're saying it's no widely accepted definition for this. You know why? This is my, because all people have non-celiac gluten sensitivity. Like, who really can deal with this monstrous gluten wheat product that we eat, nowadays? This is not your biblical einkorn wheat and whatever wheat emmer and all that our ancestors had, in biblical times, etc. And even then, were they really that healthy? Are grains really that healthy? But I'm not going to go that far into the grains right now. I want to stick with this major one, because if you eliminate this one grain, this wheat, from your diet, your way of eating, I can tell you what happened for me, and I can just about guarantee you, just about, again, everybody's body is different. This is my disclaimer, etc., etc. If you want to consult your doctor, go get a naturopathic doctor, whatever. Use your own discretion, etc. Okay. If you do this, more than likely you are going to gain weight if you've been having issues with weight gain, period. Okay? There is a such thing as non-celiac gluten sensitivity, which means you don't have to be diagnosed with celiac disease to be gluten sensitive. That can still affect the body. This affects a lot of things, and not least of which is your weight gain, period. Your, nutrient absorption, period. So anyway, that's from me to you. This is my real experience. My real experience. I wish I had before and after pictures for you. I might put a before and after picture of like when I just started to lose weight a couple months ago, and I'm I look healthier now. And it's just been a month or so. And like I said, lost some pounds because I stopped eating the foods, the carbs that, cause you to gain water weight. So yeah, I lost about 10 pounds. I did. And I wasn't trying to, I guess, gain, because I was still getting used to the food and I'm just trying to let it do its thing. And I'm like, wait a minute, this is a lot of weight loss. Let me just, kind of check that. And so now I did that, and I started incorporating foods, more fat gaining and weight gaining foods to my eating that's acceptable, in this way of life, that I'm doing. So now I'm doing that. But maybe I'll do a before and after picture for that. I kind of wish I had some pictures from long ago to show you how skinny I really was. Oh goodness, I know how it is, and so I wanted to share this information with you. If you're like one of those people who will just do this for yourself, like you tried everything, maybe you tried, all the weight gaining supplements. I don't know. Maybe you tried a Petamin, maybe you tried CB1, maybe you tried the, I don't want to say the brand name, but the drinks, that high calorie cornstarchy drinks that help you to gain weight. You can still drink those. Like, you stop eating wheat and you start drinking those drinks, and I mean, your weight will come on. It's not the best weight, but you will start absorbing when you stop the wheat. But I'm saying maybe you're one of those people who tried so many things. The working out, the toning, and the eating of the dairy and, fattening, high fattening foods, and it's still not working for you? It's still not giving you the gains? I don't care how old you are. You could be really young or, whatever, in your teens, 20s or so. Your body can change. your body can start absorbing the fats and the nutrients, the minerals that it's not absorbing now. But you have to be disciplined, or just make up your mind right now and say, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to go gluten-free. People around you can say things and they don't know your story. They don't know your adventure, your body, the things that you have to go through, what you think about when you look in the mirror. You do. I know what I had to. I remember being 13 years old, going to a new school. I was going to high school. I still remember this day. I was looking in the mirror. It was a full-length body mirror. And I was getting dressed for school. I was so appalled, depressed, sad about what I saw in the mirror. I was 13. I was so skinny. I was bony. Like, I still have some, you can see like my bone structure now. Again, I mean, I have more weight, even having lost weight in the past couple months because I changed the way I ate. I have more weight now than I did when I was in my early 20s. Not necessarily because of my age. It is because I stopped eating wheat. Because I was well into my 30s the same way, not gaining weight until I stopped eating wheat. So again, I just wanted to share that with you, from my heart to yours. Hopefully you'll be one of those people who actually does the change and come back to me and say, BatiYah, you know what? I actually did this and it really worked, or whatever. And when I stopped eating wheat, for health reasons, it didn't even have anything to do with my weight. I didn't think I was going to start gaining weight when I stopped eating wheat. That's the thing. I didn't know. This was like an accident, if you will, a happy accident that happened to me when I stopped this. But yeah, I just want to thank you for watching. I wanted to share that information with you, and I just want to let you know that when I stopped eating wheat, it didn't seem like it took a long time for me to start gaining or noticing that I was gaining some weight. I mean, when I tell you a week, 2 weeks to start noticing it, like I mean, yeah, it takes a while for the gluten and the wheat and all that to get out of the body. But once you stop eating it and, start moving it through, honey, take some nice probiotic foods like some fermented cabbage, which is awesome. Sauerkraut, in other words, some raw sauerkraut, kind of help to digest, get those enzymes going and move that stuff out of your body. Yeah, I started noticing some weight gain really like soon, and I was so happy. I could not even believe it. I couldn't believe my body was gaining weight, and it did not take long. It didn't take long. So anyway, I want you to be encouraged. Hopefully you'll be one of those people who will actually do this, because it is easier said than done. But once you make up your mind to do it, you can do it. It's a habit. It's like you spent all this time in your life eating this food. It's everywhere. People are telling you different things about it. Some people are telling you it's healthy, which is not. It's in your favorite foods, pizzas, your cupcakes, your this and that. But you can still eat those foods, but just make them gluten-free. Okay, made with rice and other grains and not wheat. If you want, potato, a lot of the gluten-free foods are made with potato starch and rice and things like that. Switch to gluten-free cupcakes, gluten-free bread, gluten-free pizza, etc. Gluten-free pasta. Yeah, you can still have pasta if you like. And try not to be so picky. I tell some of my friends about this, a couple of my friends who want to gain weight, and they'll tell me, oh, those cupcakes don't taste the same. Listen, if you tell your mind, these are your choice of cupcakes, I'm just using that as an example. This is your choice of bread. It has to be gluten-free. It has to contain no wheat. you're going to start to like it. No, but to me, it tastes good. So but some people are really picky and they like taste, and it's like, okay, keep eating the wheat, but it's not doing you any good. It's not doing you any good. So, you can do it. You just got to want to do it. You can do it. So thank you for watching. This video has been a lot longer than I thought it was going to be. I thought this was going to be a short video because I'm just going to tell you that one food, but I like to, illuminate things. I like to talk about it and to make things a little bit more clear for you. And hopefully you will do this and reap the benefits of becoming gluten-free, getting rid of that wheat, and finally being able to gain weight, more than you ever have been before. So thanks again for watching. I'm BatiYah, signing off. Bye. All right, let me turn this thing off. No wheat.